When I started hearing rumors that I was doing business in Mongolia, I found them very difficult to believe, but when they persisted, I needed to investigate because I thought that it might be I was going to need to check the holding companies and see who I needed to fire. But then it became clear that I had been used by a Catholic holding company to help them get invested. So I was fine with that because, like I said, if I was involved with this, heads would be rolling. There's a cultural incompatibility to the way the Western world does business, especially with people who pause when they speak, to be honest with you. Where they have this presumption that these people are going to be easy to rip off, that you can keep them bamboozled, and that there's not going to be consequences. So anyway, I made an agreement with the established families there that I wasn't there to try to establish a new family there. But it was a good, we are, okay, so I don't have to work. I mean, I kind of work, but I kind of don't. And, Blue was having a problem processing that because everyone around him was saying, well, you know what that means, don't you? All that stuff. And the answer to that is no, you don't. Anyway, yeah, so the whole worker visa thing, the farm worker visa thing, people can come here and work. They don't have to go all the way back to Mongolia every time those visas reset. I think it's like every 18 months or something like that. I forget what the Mexicans had to do. Or go somewhere else, reapply, and come back. You had to touch base. You didn't necessarily have to go back to Mexico, but they typically sort of did. You can go to Canada, stay there. I don't think you have to stay there for more than a couple weeks and then come back in. Do that a few times, save up your money, and then immigrate to Canada. Because immigration to Canada is a whole lot easier. And anyway, yeah, so I guess there's a bunch of kids. We get poor in childcare here. We're wealthy and want to take care of people their whole life because there's kind of like a welfare industry. But when it comes to producing productive adults who have integrated their way of thinking into a skill set that they can use to support a family, we're pretty poor at that. And the Mongolian child care system, okay, here you go, is your mother carries you around until you can run around, and then she lets you run around, and every once in a while she wonders where you went, goes and unhooks you from whatever you've gotten snagged on, and then lets you run around again. And there's a national security issue with how they treat the kids in school. And they will not be sharing that information. And they move the kids along as their salience develops so that they don't learn the process, which is something you guys did not do with me here in the U.S.